Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading here for today, Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. I have used the traditional Rider-Waite deck for the reading today, and today we have the Ace of Pentacles accompanied with the Eight of Pentacles. So the energy coming in with this new beginning, this divine energy, you're really going to have to work hard, push yourself a little bit to get yourself to where you want to go. I'm feeling like there's a new beginning coming in with this. This is an energy of practicality coming in with this. Now we have Christmas coming up, so for all of you that are buying gifts maybe for loved ones, I'm just feeling like any gift giving that's coming in with this. This is something that is really going to be about practicality, right? The gifts that you're choosing for others, you're going to find use for in every day, or something that they need, right? Or something that they could use for everyday type of life, right? So I feel like you're buying gifts, maybe you're being very practical about buying gifts, maybe you're being responsible with that in buying gifts with the money that you have set aside or with what you have left over after you pay your bills. You're not going to be using a credit card to buy the gifts. You're just being responsible. There's an energy with that that's coming in. So I feel like there's a challenging energy with this that comes in, and this is really one where someone's kind of digging deep, right? Really using the energy to benefit themselves at a soul level, right? Really digging deep in terms of what's feeling good for you at a soul level with this, okay? Now, know that these challenges are temporary, okay? So they're gonna come and go. Now, you're gonna feel like this isn't necessarily a come and go energy. You're gonna feel like these challenges, they might stick around for just a little bit. This is gonna feel uncomfortable at times, okay? But this is a sort of a changing of the guard, right? Where there's big changes in store for you. As with any new beginning, there's a grieving process that kind of accompanies this too, where you have the change that comes in. So you have to be letting go of things from the past in order to create space for new things to come in for you or to show up for you with this new energy that's coming in. So in all of this, it's almost as if I get the sense with this, and maybe this is specific to somebody out there, there's an empty nester type of feel to this, right? Where you could be at a loss, right? And that's part of that grieving, at a loss to, kind of feel things out for yourself. Like I have been so involved with, whether you were raising children, or for some people it might be changing into retirement, and so they're like, I've been so absorbed into my career, now where am I looking at readjusting myself into what is good for me, what do I want to do, what is fulfilling for me? And so you're making different changes and you are making choices for yourself. And so I feel that with this new beginning, there is a tendency to want to go back to old behaviors or stick to things that make you feel comfortable, such as, wanting to stay to yourself, not wanting to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone, not wanting to really network with other people. But I think that this is really going to call for you to do a lot of networking. You really will probably have to get out there and put yourself out there and speak with other people and be around other people and get yourself into new social situations, get your feet wet into different projects, right? For whatever that's worth. It's going to help you find yourself. Now, when I say for whatever that's worth, that's the energy that kind of comes in with that, right? That I'm feeling as though there's a feeling within you that might feel like, I'm going to do this for what it's worth. Like, it's not something you necessarily want to do, right? I feel like you're really pushing yourself to do that. But I think on the other side of this, you're going to see the value in that and how it's helped you to really find the parts of you that were kind of lost, so to speak, right? Really rebuilding a newer version of you, or rebuilding an older new version of you, right? And so really seeing you out there and navigating these sort of social situations, you'll start to reconnect with these lost pieces of yourself, right? And really start to step into a more empowered version of rebuilding, right? Or establishing in general, where it is that you feel comfortable, like a new baseline, a new comfort zone for yourself. And so getting yourself back out there. Now, I feel, had you lost yourself in raising the children and getting absorbed in the extracurriculars with them, whether it's sports and concerts and all of that, or whether it was your career, I feel like that was a sense of how you felt a little bit powerless, right? I feel like it was almost like you felt like this is how it's designed. And I feel like at times you might have felt as if you didn't have a say in things, where you felt like you just had to go with the flow and you had to go from one thing to the next. And I feel in some way like there's a sense around this that there's an old-fashioned type of energy, right? A little bit of nostalgia. And so when there is this nostalgia coming in with this, I'm feeling like what was important to you or what is important to you, it was kind of put on the back burner, right? And what I feel like what is important to you, what I feel like it is like building things at home, or doing things within the home that revolve around what you need at home, whether it's cooking or baking, or actually going out into like a wood shop and building things with your hands, exploring things just outside your home, right? Going for walks, being out in nature, hiking, right? Identifying plants within nature. I feel like there's all of these things that bring back some sort of a nostalgia. Perhaps this was something that you did when you were younger, and now you're wanting to bring that back, not only for yourself, but this is something that you would have felt like was most important to do for your children. But because of how things are, you were going from one thing to the next with whatever school activities they had going on, right? And so what I'm getting, the sense that I'm getting with this is, now I'm hearing the lyrics to the Imagine song. It's John Lennon's lyrics. But imagine all the people living for today. There's just an ultimate sense of peace with this, right? Where there is just absolutely no judgment placed on it. No judgment placed on what it is that you want to do. No judgment placed on where it is that you're at. No judgment based on where you've been or where you want to go. Just absolutely living in the present moment. And so with this, I feel like today's challenge for you might be that, you see yourself exactly where you are, but you have some projections, right? Like you're like, I wish I could have, or I wish I did, or I should have done this, or I should do this for the future, right? You kind of get all of these doubts kind of creeping in, and or regrets, right? So your challenge is to see yourself exactly where you are just for today and as you are today, and start to understand that you've been given a gift now of time, right? And so you don't want to project into the past, you don't want to project into the future. You just want to be where you are, right? So throw out all the shoulds, throw out all the coulds, right? Like throw out all those things and make your decisions for yourself today based on how you feel today. Because today is a gift, right? You're making history today. You only have one today, right? And so, it's exactly where you're meant to be, right? And so you're writing your own history for today. So look at this from a very empowered type of standpoint as you make your choices, as you navigate your day. That is your only responsibility at this point in time. So understand that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. And, maybe ask yourself as you move throughout the day, what is it that I want to be remembered for, right? And start to make some decisions based on that. And I feel like in the past you might have shouldered so much responsibility within your workplace or within your home, right? And so now with this gift of time, you're wondering, like, what am I going to do with this? How will I show up for myself and for my future self? And in terms of what is it that I want to be remembered for, right? It's interesting because, and I want to bring this up because I read something where somebody had said hard work pays off, and they were listing off all of these things that had happened and these accomplishments that they have achieved. Now, granted, that's really, really great, right? We do set milestones for ourselves within this physical world, but we have to kind of look at things, take a step back. We also have milestones at like a soul level, right? We are given a purpose in this life, and we have things that we need to achieve like at a soul level, lessons that we have to achieve at a soul level. And so are we taking stock on those things as well? Are we understanding that when we come back to all of this, as we move through our physical world, as we move through all of these physical lessons, right? Our lessons in our physical world, be it emotional lessons within relationships and all of that, our capacity to love continues to grow, right? So what is it that we're doing as we continue to grow within that capacity to love? How are we showing up for ourselves in that capacity to love? And how are we showing up for others in that capacity to love? Because at the end of the day, you could be going to a job every day 9 to 5. Does that job light your soul on fire? Is that your purpose? Is that your passion, right? These are the questions that are kind of like sometimes omitted when we kind of look at things and take stock of where we are and where we want to be and where we're going. Because at the end of the day, we have to be able to answer these questions for ourselves. We want to be remembered for some of these wonderful things, our capacity to love and the impact that we had on others, right? Not how many vehicles we have or things like that of a material nature. And this is a wonderful time of year to kind of remind ourselves of that. When we're talking about being practical, about gift giving, right? We don't want to stress ourselves out throughout the holiday. We want to be able to enjoy that with our family. So making that a love-based, enjoyable experience with our loved ones, right? So I just wanted to kind of touch base on that as we did this reading, but I do overall with this beautiful gift, with this Ace of Pentacles here, I do overall see you embarking on a journey, okay? And with this journey, I see the number 10. So this breaks down to really tell us that this is about, in numerology, it's really about leadership, right? How are you being a leader? But it brings in that new beginning, and there's going to be a lot of changes, and there's going to be growth for you, okay? So I think that this is going to be a journey, and it's going to really allow a lot of expansion for you over time. And I do feel that there's going to be times that there will be a lot of hesitation in stepping into this leadership role. I think that there will be doubts to contend with along the way. But I do feel that that comes from a place where, I feel like maybe you perhaps feel as though that there's no room for error, but we are human, and that's where that growth comes in. And we have to understand that we will make mistakes along the way. And that is where we take our step back, we reformulate a plan, and we begin again, right? Or we stand back up and we continue down that path, okay? So when you have those times where you are doubting yourself, this is really a time for you to step into that faith. Rely on that faith, lean into that faith to get you through those times, because I feel 100% that this is to help you be unwavering on that path. There's a presence that's there to help you, to guide you, to keep you like a steady hand, to help you down this path, because I feel like it's absolutely meant to happen. So, I ask that you try to look at the wonder throughout all of this. Look for the magic throughout all of this, because I feel like Spirit will never cease to amaze you if you're looking for those things. And that's only going to help you to grow in your gratitude and the peace along the path, and really living in that life of purpose. So absolutely beautiful message here for us today, and I hope that this resonates for you. As always, if you're feeling inclined to share this message with loved ones, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today again. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. You can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com. You can hit me up in the messenger on the Facebook, or you can go ahead and just book a session with me for a reading or healing. And that is at the square site pinned in the description box below here on YouTube, or at the top of the page on my Facebook. Thank you so much. Take care.